Okay, guys, sorry about that little reset. A little bit of a hiccup. I said some things that I wasn't supposed to say, so I had to shut it down. My mouth is always getting me into trouble. So where did it cut off? I don't know. I do want to say thank you all for being here. Really appreciate it. We got James DeBear in the stream. Good to see you, sir. Good to see you, Mr. DeBear. He says, good luck tonight. I'll be watching you when I'm not in the room. Thank you very much. Blurred 11s. Yeah, sorry, guys. Said some things on stream I shouldn't have. So, had to shut it down before I caught up. Yeah. Hexadecimal says that was a quick stream. Indeed. Indeed. No, you're just gonna have to wait. Just gotta wait the 200 seconds DD pool. Where did it cut off at? What was the last thing I said? Hurley's on says Mark Hoke said the stream is rigged. The stream is rigged.
Here, I'll do the chat.
Okay. I'm going to look away from the chat. Michelle is here. She's going to be modding, and I'm not doing a very good job modding, so I'm going to go ahead and doing a real bad job. Doing a real bad job. Okay, guys, 1,940 chips in front of us. We've talked about this before, how this Midnight Mayhem is very different from most of the tournaments here on WSOP. The main difference being that since there's no rebuys, since there's no add-on, the stacks are actually fairly shallow early on. Now the structure is still good enough that you look at these increases, 2040 to 2550. I mean, you still get play for your money, but you only have one shot, which basically makes everybody play a lot tighter. You also since you start with 2,000 chips and there's no rebuy and no add-on, you end up being quite a bit shallower earlier on. And as a result, what we end up doing is tapering really right from the get-go. So instead of starting at 3x like we normally do in the rebuys, in the 2K guaranteed or the 3K guaranteed, or even even the Sunday tournament where we start with 5,000 chips. In this Midnight Mayhem, we start tapering from the very get-go. So instead of making it 3x like we normally would, we're making it 2.5x from the very beginning. That's the idea. iSean23, good to see you. He says he saw me playing the WSP event today, and too focused to say hi, or too nervous to say hi. Either way, iSean, you should have said hi. You should have said hi. I had a couple of fist bump patches. I definitely would have given you one. And always a pleasure to meet people from the stream. It's always a pleasure to meet, to be able to put a face to a username. So please, next time, you or anybody else who I haven't actually met in person, please do come by and introduce yourself, because it never is. I'm always very happy to meet you guys in person. Oh man, iSean23, I feel your pain. I got busted around 11:20. 11 and a half hours of playing poker just to walk away with that bitter taste. So I'm sorry that it didn't go your way today. Sorry it didn't go your way. And we're very lucky to have X and Y modding tonight. It's good to have you here. Do you want to be on the stream?
No.
I know everyone would like to say hi and see you.
Dressed. My hair is all messed up.
She still looks beautiful, guys.
I wanted to go to bed.
She still looks beautiful. I got a chance to play with some cool people today. Started the day with Dennis Phillips.
Oh, did you read that article I posted?
And Poker Cat. Also had the chance to meet Dakota Cohoon for the first time, which was really cool. I didn't read it. What was the...
I put on Twitter. It was pretty funny.
Okay, I'll take a look.
Trying to make a poker career.
No.
What is it? What's the headline?
Do we really want to put 15% of our stack in with ace-6 suited? I don't think so. Carlos Jr., good to see you here, man, and congrats to your brother. Carlos Jr.'s brother ended up scoring a 97 out of 100 on his dealer exam.
Wow.
Yeah,
I didn't even know there was an exam.
There is an exam. He's got his first dealing job this summer at the World Series. So yeah, what did he do wrong? Speaking of dealer screw ups, gosh, there's an issue.
Wait. I tried to become an online poker ace in an hour. It's a Vice article.
In an hour?
Yeah.
Oh.
So he didn't really do. He
that sounds interesting.
He's like, yeah, I'm gonna run it up.
I'm gonna run it up. I'm gonna be one of the best in the world in an hour. Let's get good.
It's pretty funny. You should read it during break.
Like, should I read it out loud?
No,
Polarize.
It's just funny.
Great to see you, Polarize. It's great to see you, man.
I think you should read. I mean, it's kind of fluff. It's not really.
Okay, so it's just something I should read on my own. I shouldn't.
Funny.
Well, since we're talking about it, we ought to put a little link on the stream.
Well, why don't you just read it later in your privacy? And see
You should link it to them. Link it to our buddies.
On my Twitter. You can find it on my Twitter.
You can follow Xmal at first at 1st. You can also follow me and I'll retweet. So, oh, did I? I don't remember retweeting it.
Maybe you didn't retweet it.
Maybe Michelle retweeted it on my behalf, which she is authorized to do. Guys, you want to see what the prize pool is? Oh, beautiful. Look at that. So what are we doing? 2.5x right from the get-go. 125. Wait for it to get to that trailing digit right there.
See Carlos Jr.'s comment about grinding ACR?
No kidding. No, I didn't actually even read past the What's Up Dutch before I started thinking about your brother. He says, I'm grinding on ACR all day, have a third and close to a second final table, trying to get ready for the WSOP circuit at Harrah's at Atlantic City in 2 weeks. Carlos, good luck out there, man. I hope that you just crush it. I truly do. And definitely keep us updated with how you do out there. If you end up making a ring, I'll be really happy. Okay, let's go ahead and half pot it against these two guys. Hopefully one of these guys has a weaker ace or a flush draw. Either way, I think that we get action. So the King of Hearts hits, and I'm a little bit worried about Murph's Turf making the call there with a flush draw. But you know what? I'm not going to just give her credit for a flush or him credit for a flush draw. I'm going to go ahead and give him credit for a weaker ace, because if he had the flush, I think that he would have at least thought about betting on the turn. Instead, he fires out another check. And here's where we just got to go for value. And let's go ahead and try to make it a little bit. Well, let's go ahead and make it 748. And hope that we get called with a weaker ace. Ace-Jack, Ace-10, Ace-9 calls us. What did we get called with? Ace-7. Ace-7 offsuit calls us. So ended up maximizing it. I think a lot of people out there are going to check that river. Big mistake, I tell ya. Big mistake. This is the power of position. The power of position is being able to get that third barrel bet, and that was an important bet for us. I mean, on the river we were able to get half pot, which was 748, 750. You look at our stack right now. That's the difference between 3,500 and 2,750. That is a pretty big difference. Make sure that you go for those value bets. And Ace Queen on an Ace King 6-3-4 3 hearts board is not exactly a thin value bet. Ace 9 would be a thin value bet. Cloud Orchestra, great to see you, Cloudy. It's great to see you, man. He says, "Is it still sub only?" No. Well, I'm resubbing anyway. Thanks, man. You're the best. Okay, so let's take a look. We got 3 IOU ROU. 3 IOU RU. I like that. Hello, Dutch, he says. Hello there, 3 IOU ROU. And Seattle Pro says, you're crazy streaming at this hour, dog. Even Xmal going to bed already. Yeah, I missed you guys, though. And you know what? I'm already falling behind on my 200 streaming goal, so... I would have been streaming earlier, except...
You were talking about dealer mistakes, too. Did you finish that story?
So it's not really a dealer mistake. It's an equipment malfunction. The cut card at the WSOP circuit, the cut card, you guys, is super, super glossy on one side to the point where it's really a mere finish. Let's go ahead and max it up here. It's a mere finish. A mere finish. So if on one side it's matted, so it's no problem. On the other side, though, it's glossy to the point where when the dealer is cutting into the cut card, you can see the bottom card. You can see what card is dead. I mean, imagine the advantage this gives you if you've got like pocket sixes, for example, and you know that one of your that a six is dead, that it will not come out. Imagine the advantage it gives you if you've got pocket queens, for example, and you know an ace is dead, and the flop comes out like ace, ace, ace. You know, I mean, these are drastic examples. The truth of it is that knowing one dead card out of 52, well, I guess technically 50, since you know you have two cards of your own. Knowing one dead card isn't that much of an advantage, but it's still an advantage that angle shooters can use. I noticed it, and I asked Dennis Phillips, who was next to me, also Poker Cat and Dakota Calhoun were at my table too. Asked him if he noticed it as well, and he was like, I didn't, but I think you're probably right. So we tested it, and I was like, hey, dealer, just cut into the card as you normally would, and we made sure. Sure enough, Sarge, we have a shiner here. So mentioned it to the floor man. I don't really know if they're going to do anything with it. There's some pretty, there's some easy fixes I can come up with. If there's for one thing, they can just tell the dealers to make sure that the mat side is up, and the way that they would do that, I guess, is maybe put a sticker on the bottom. Like if they had like a little wsop sticker or something, maybe it would just be as simple as that. Another thing they could do, bring in some sandpaper and make it so it's not so glossy and on the shiny side. Flop my hand, good to see you, man. We got a chance to meet him today too. It was pretty cool. He says, hey, he ended up busting the monster stack right before the dinner break. I'm sorry to hear it, buddy. But great meeting you today. Thanks for the fist bump card protector. I'll tell you what, you can really actually thank Money Miser for that. He's the one who actually put the money in and gave it to us. But all the subs that I got a chance to run into today got one of them, and now we're doing. I've got 5 left that I'm going to probably give as trophies for the WSOP, or not for the. I'll probably give these as trophies for the next Twitch Poker League that we end up doing, which probably going to do in April. It'll probably be a very quick little league right before the series, like a 5-week, once a week type league.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I think that's the plan.
So Cloud Orchestra subscribed for 5 months in a row.
Cloud Orchestra, man, 5 months in a row. It's great to have you here. Those crews, man, the Dutch crew for the resubs. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Cloud, for the resub. It's really awesome to keep on supporting the channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much, man.
He just played a $8 he took down.
Oh, cool.
Single 3-buy today. $160, biggest score yet.
Pretty good ROI there, man.
So
pretty good ROI. So, hey, we also have 4-Wheel Phil in the stream. Good to see you, 4-Wheel Phil. He shot me a little line, by the way. Hope that you get it resolved. And, man, if you can't, please do let me know, and I'll do what I can to help you. It sounds like there's some BS going on. But I'm sure it's just a misunderstanding on one end or the other. So I have every confidence that an email to support will sort it out. Eastside Slagging, good to see you. He said he just had the Voodoo Donuts in Portland. Ever try them? Did I ever try Voodoo Donuts in Portland?
I think
no.
We heard of it though. But there is a Voodoo Donuts in Vegas.
Really?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
That sounds amazing.
We'll try.
It makes me want a Krispy Kreme donut. That's what it makes me want to have. I want to eat a donut right now. Damn you, Eastside Slaggin'. Why do you do this to me? Why do you fill my head with these donut thoughts? There's no donut around. I can't have a donut right now, and now that's all I'm thinking about is just donuts. Oh my gosh, Homer Simpson and donuts. I'm like Homer Simpson right now. This is awesome. And Examon says, "Just for you, we will triumph." You should see the smile on her face right now, ear to ear, man.
I can't eat so many.
Ear to ear. She's like, "Just for you, we're gonna try those donuts." Oh my gosh. And Rand Differ says, "Sup Dutch, my boy Tacos for Fred is at your table." Let me take a look here. Tacos for Fred. Well, if he's good with you, Rand Differs, he's good with us, and he's gonna get one of those. He's gonna get one of those. A friend of you is a friend of me, man, and that means he gets a shark by default. Shark by default. That's right. Boom.
I have my mic plugged in over there. Is that right? I think if we plug it in my mic, it'll mess up the stream, won't it?
Yeah, it will.
Okay.
We'll have you on the stream here pretty soon, Michelle. And everyone wants to see you too. It's not just listening.
I have a bald spot on my eyebrow from playing too much.
Is that right? That's why we can't. Okay, let's go ahead and make the raise here. Ace-9 offsuit. A little bit loose. Yeah, it's a little bit loose. A little bit loose. What do we do if J1 shoves now? It's probably going to be a call against J1 shove, which I'm not really loving. What about Murph's turf? I mean, that would be also almost a call. 120 in, so it'd be 330 plus his 740 or her 740. I always am tempted to say her because it's, you know, a chick avatar. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue with the drive. 115 to 330 on a 10-4-3 board. Not really what we're looking for. But Ace-9 is still probably the best hand. I mean, if we both missed, I got to think that anything better than Ace-9 would have been a raise by Murph's turf. So this is actually really interesting. A check call and then a 10 on the turn. Going to be really hard for us to represent much here.
Is it Delaware or is it New Jersey? In Delaware.
Which is what?
WSOP? Where's WSOP at?
WSOP is in all three states.
Oh, it is?
Nevada, New Jersey, and Delaware.
It's been a while.
I think. So we're going to check back, actually, because I feel like Ace-9 is ahead, well ahead, and I think that Murph's turf has, like, some sort of draw. That we don't really want to push her off of, but we do kind of want to. Yeah, I kind of put her on something like an ace 5. So I'm gonna go for a little value bet here, actually, because I think that sometimes we're gonna get called with the king high, and sometimes also we have the same hand and we can push Murph's turf off of the split. So if we're behind, which I don't think we're ever behind there. I think we're either splitting or we're up against overcards, worse than an ace. So and I think that sometimes Murph's turf decides, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and make the hero call here with king high. Sometimes that happens. If we size it just right, so a third of a pot, 4-1, and Murph's turf looking at a king high, thinking, well, I think that Dutch has a king high as well, and I'm splitting, or I think that Dutch has, something like a 9-8 suited, and this is just a hopeless bluff, because why would Dutch be value betting here with an ace? Anyway, the point is this. I don't know if that was a value bet or a bluff. Not really like a special type of bluff, because we're not getting him off of worse, we'd just be getting him off of the chop. But I have a feeling that it was a value bet, and I'm rooting for the call there with king high. I don't know. Power position, though, again, guys, if nothing else, I mean, it could look like a dark tunnel bet where it's like you're never getting called with worse, and you're never getting better to fold, so why make the bet? If for no other reason than maybe just Barry Greenstein bet, making the bet, knowing you're going to get the fold just so you don't have to show your hand. That's why, maybe. That's why. It's not really a bet that I would have ever been making out of position, because then you can be inducing the bluff. But in position, you can make those kind of bets sometimes where you're not quite sure what you're rooting for. But it serves both purposes. Sometimes, so it seems like the better move to me. I'm gonna make the fold here with King 7 off. Yeah, boy, Casey says, yeah, been a while since I played. Just wanted something different. Talking about that 2-5 Omaha PLO last night. Crushed it. Man, Casey, you've been kind of crushing it a lot lately, man. I'm kind of impressed. I mean, you had that 2K day the other day, and now you're crushing the 250 like PLO. Well done, man. I hope that you keep on crushing it and just keep on winning and keep on winning and keep on winning, all the way up. So you got that Andy Beal money, man. And I just don't see how that can be the case. Cal Dolan saying Krispy Kreme can't compare to Voodoo. Really?
We're gonna go to Voodoo. The one here only has 3.5 stars though, but they have 6,000 reviews.
I mean, how can Krispy Kreme not even compare? I've never had a better donut.
No, they have weird donuts
freaky.
Wait, this is downtown.
Freaky donuts.
Wait, this is not Vegas. Wait, hold on. This is Portland.
I've never had a Voodoo
Maybe
donut
they
from
don't
Portland.
Have one here, actually.
I guess the next time we're driving through Portland, which might be a while.
No, we can drive through there.
We'll make a trip just for the Voodoo donuts.
Yeah.
And I hear that the best games in the world right now are up in Portland.
Is that right?
Yeah. Rake free 1-2, 1-3, and 2-5 games in Portland strip clubs. A rake free game, you guys. How can you beat rake free? You can't.
Oh, they don't. They have Voodoo tattoos. But they have a lot of good donut shops. We have some pretty good donuts here.
We got Krispy Kreme.
Ronald's is good.
And it doesn't get better than Krispy Kreme.
It's different. Well, yeah. Well, that O-Face donut we went to is closed.
It was all right. O-Face Donuts was all right. It doesn't surprise me that they closed.
Do you think it's because the location was weird?
I think it's because they couldn't compare with Krispy Kreme. You got a default, which is kind of like the perfect donut. And if you can beat the perfect donut, then you can survive and thrive. Otherwise, why would someone go to get an inferior product that is more expensive?
Yeah, that's true.
I gotta say, I mean that's the truth of it. They're not competing on a price point. They're not competing on a taste point.
Pretty cheap.
So what they're competing with is kind of a hipster factor, I guess. You'll pay 4 times as much for an inferior donut because it's cool.
With bacon on it.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe you will, but I won't. Got a chance to play with Poker Cat. She's always a pleasure to play with, and I don't mean that in a disparaging way. I mean that I enjoy playing with her and watching her work because she is good. She had back-to-back hands that went south for her. One where she had Ace King against Ace Queen, and that was a fun hand to watch because the guy ended up she fired out a value bet when it was Ace Queen 6-3 on the board. She fires out a value bet with her trip aces on the river, and he just calls her with Ace Queen. He was so excited, he thought that she had shoved all in, but she had actually only bet like 4,000 of her 11,000 stack. So he ended up making the call, and I'll tell you guys, if I was having a bad day, then I would have demanded a penalty. If he was an asshole, which he wasn't, he was just a real nice married guy, wearing a wooden watch, and he seemed like a real pleasant fellow. I think he was from Houston, just on a little poker trip with him and his wife. And if he wasn't like a real pleasant person, if he was an asshole, I would have called the floor. I would have, and I would have said, he just called with the nuts there. That's a penalty under TDA rules.
He should have been a dick.
No, not to a recreational player who is like is super recreational player. He didn't mean to do it. It ended up costing him money.
Did you point it out to him that he's not supposed to do that?
I didn't say anything.
Oh.
I didn't say anything. Another player did. Another player said, "Yeah, you can get a penalty for that."
Oh, that's good.
Well,
Somebody did.
Look, if I was the floor, I would not be giving him a penalty. This is not the kind of player that you want to give a penalty to. This is a recreational player who really doesn't have much shot at winning the tournament. Let's be honest. I mean, if you're going to call with the nuts when Kathy Liebert, one of the biggest threats in the whole field, has more chips behind her and will call you off, I mean, this is not a winning play, and this is not the kind of recreational player that you want to scare away from the game forever by embarrassing and making feel bad. I actually didn't even think that the player who said, "Oh, you can get a penalty for that," I wanted to slap him in the mouth and say, "Shut up, you! You let him play his own game." That's what I wanted to say. I want to be like, "You let him play his own game over and over and over. You let him do his own thing. Stop it. Leave him alone, asshole." That's what I wanted to say to the guy. And instead, I just kept my mouth shut.
This looks good. This donut place, Donut Mania.
I think I might have said something like, yeah, we all do it from time to time." I told the story about how I got a penalty for calling with the nuts on the river. It was a little bit of a different situation. It was like one of those situations where we both had the same hand in a split pot game. We both had the wheel, and it was kind of obvious, and I didn't really see much point in it. And I actually feel like it's a bad rule, because I think that there could be all sorts of strategic or tactical reasons why you would want to call with the nuts that have nothing to do with collusion. For one, how about you want to see what they have? That could be it. For two, there can be reasons why you don't want to go out of your way to knock a player out when you don't have to. I'm telling you guys, I wrote about some of these reasons. If you're a huge stack at the final table, for example, and there's, let's say that you are, you have 70% of the chips in play, and the other 15% are, or the other 30% is divided up between like 5 players, and there's some pretty big ICM implications for them. You're not really trying to knock any of them out, So I can come up with some good, solid tactical reasons that have absolutely nothing to do with collusion or helping somebody else out, and have everything to do with helping yourself out, which make it a bad rule. Anytime you have a rule that dictates how you play, I feel like a little bit iffy about whether it's a good rule. But whatever, you know what? The TDA is what it is, and I'm glad that we have a tournament, a governing body that's trying to uniform the rules. And just the fact is, if people are colluding that way, then they're doing it wrong. You don't collude in that way. You're not, that's not real collusion. Though sometimes you do see someone soft playing someone else, and you're looking and being like, wow, why would you call with the nuts there? And he's like, oh, I only called because it was you, George. But that's not real collusion. That's soft playing collusion. It's not like they have an agreement. It has more to do with a meta game. And I actually feel like there can be metagame reasons why you would want to make those kind of plays as well. Unapologetically saying this, I mean, I think that if there's going to be plenty of times when I would be making a call against one player and I will make the fold against a different player, for the sole reason of knowing that the person I'm folding to, I will be playing a lot with in the future, and hopefully they will make those kind of borderline folds to me. And the difference between implicit and explicit collusion really does just come down to that conversation that you have. If you don't have the conversation, then it's implicit, and it could just be good tournament strategy, either in the specific situation or metagame wise. And I'm not really for rules or rule sets that dictate how to play. I'm all for rules against cheating. But when you start saying that implicit collusion is cheating, you are starting to not really understand the game at the top tier levels. So, tournament directors aren't players. Only Victory says, "Hi Dutch. Haven't you considered a move to a place where you can play Poker Stars?" Only Victory, I'll tell you, I'm really just waiting for Poker Stars to come to me. They've already come to New Jersey. They're opening up later this month in New Jersey, talking about maybe doing international packs from New Jersey. It's just going to be a matter of time before we get it in Nevada. So what's the hurry? You know, it's gonna come back. Besides, I hear that it's really tough now, and I probably wouldn't be able to beat it. That's what people tell me anyway. That's what they say. Do you really think that you could beat PokerStars? That's what they say. Well, yes, I do, and yes, I do consider moving to play on PokerStars, given that that's like the place to play right now online. Unless you're in Nevada, unless you're in New Jersey, or unless you're in Delaware right now, where we get we get to play on wsop.com. Hey, by the way, Gills Nuts, good to see you in the stream, man. Good to see you. And here at Treasures, you can feed a stripper, but I believe you have to pay her by the hour. That's pretty funny, Eximo. What else we got? What else we got? Tough Nuts, good to see you here. We got Kyle Fly in the stream. Yeah. Guys, we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Okay, guys, we're back. Read a little bit of that Vice article while we were gone.
Is it funny?
It's funny. Randifer says, recite the gambler's prayer again. Didn't hear and never heard it. The gambler's prayer is, Lord, let me break even. I really need the money. That's the gambler's prayer. I think it's pretty funny. Making the fold here with the 6-7 suited. And yeah, Timmy Timify's right. Most tourneys do end up in disappointment. That's the life. That's the life. And Cloud Orchestra says, Dutch, please move to New Jersey. I'll tell you what, Cloud. If they end up getting an international pact from New Jersey, and I'm able to play the Germans from the States. What's that?
The WSP?
It's a Bally's, yeah. It's a Bally's. Did I say Planet Hollywood?
Yeah, I don't know.
I meant Bally's. It's over at Bally's. And I will be playing that main event, guys, so this weekend hopefully will not be much of a stream. I think it starts on Saturday. The main event starts for me on Saturday. I'm only going to fire one bullet on Saturday. That's the plan. That's the plan.
Yeah, Bally's?
Yeah. We got Xander 1991 in the stream. Xander, good to see you. We got A Coke in the stream as well. Always a pleasure to see you, my friend. Always good to see the Twitch veterans. Dusty MacGyver chilling out. Do we have an Insta thing?
I thought we did. Maybe not. I'll just paste it.
So we got SGW440. I'm going to have to actually look to see what SGW has been doing. So he's been doing a lot of all-in shoving. And now he makes a min raise. Okay, SGW. I'm going to go ahead and make a raise myself. Because I don't think that you have anything. And I think that you've got enough of a... a stack here that you're going to be a little bit cautious with it. AZ Poker Girl made the call. Now she's in kind of a weird spot. Where she's like, I think Dutch is bluffing. I might be bluffing. I might be. You can send birthday presents to Eximon. Did anyone send you a birthday present? Yeah. Yeah, Grateful Mouse. Grateful Mouse gave you a birthday present, I remember. That was pretty cool of him. Six deuce suited. I will make the fold. I will fold that hand, guys. How about we get the payouts up? 400. The birthday. Yeah. Do I have to do it right now, or can I wait until after the stream? Because I'm kind of juggling a lot.
Just type it in, or no? Because I don't know how to do the typing in. I forgot.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure myself. Well, guys, we have some options here with Slickest Open limping. We can call here. Let's make the raise. Let's go ahead and isolate. We'll see what Slickest ends up doing with that under the gun raise. We just take it down. We did have some options, though. We could have turned our hand into a little set mining opportunity. It also might have induced a shove from Turn the Nuts, who he plays pretty good. He spews a bit. Shoves for fairly big stacks when he thinks that he can get folds, and we might have been able to get him to make the shove if we decide to go and make the call. So it might have induced a bluff, but I don't know that pocket eights is really that good, really good enough where we're rooting for Turn the Nuts to shove with like Jack 9 offsuit. Bankroll Grind chilling out with us from London. Good morning from London. Good morning to you, Bankroll Grind. I hope things are going well. Out there in the UK where the sun never sets. Little ace-3 offsuit action here. I think I'm going to go ahead and make the raise. What are we doing now? I guess we're going to go ahead and taper down a little bit more to 180. And I kind of messed up my time bank, so I don't really have the kind of I don't really have too much time to really think about how much I'm supposed to be making it. You know, the Midnight Mayhem, my amounts are a little bit off here. I'm not doing. I'm going to be doing even less than 2.5x now at the 50-100 level. I'm thinking 2.25 sounds about right. Yeah, I think 2.25 at this point. Got SGW 440 making the shove with ace-4. Tacos for Fred with the dream right there.
Did you see Timothy fight at? Do you ever watch those bike streams?
Live at the Bike?
Yeah.
I've watched a couple of them, yeah. I have. Imaginator saying maybe you could do a quick stream after each day this weekend, not so much to play, but just to give us an update on how things are going in the main event. Imaginator, that's not such a bad idea. I think that's a good idea. We could do a little no delay stream after every day. Hopefully, they'll be very late. You know, I could just do a little update. WSP Circuit main event update. We won't even call them an episode.
And then ACOK wanted to know if you offer staking for tournaments.
ACOK, I have in the past. Right now, I have a pretty stable backer that I've had for about the last 12 years. But I think that he's probably going to pass on a couple of the events this summer because I kind of want to play the 10K Raz, and I also want to play the 10K 6 Max, and I'm thinking about putting up action for those. Why would I want to play those? Well, 2/3 of my bracelets are in 6 Max, so I feel like I should be playing the 10K 6 Max. And then with Raz, I mean, there's not really a lot of people with a lot of Raz experience out there. And I'm not saying that I'm a Raz specialist, but I did have my F-Tops jersey in the Raz event. I also got second in one of the maybe 5 or 6 Raz events I've played at the series. Raz plays so much like stud high-low, and I do consider myself, pretty good at that variant. So and it actually, in my opinion, has more skill to it than stud high-low. Tournament-wise, even though I think that like on a hand-to-hand cash game basis, for example, Stud 8 has more skill because of the split pot, aspect to it. Tournament-wise, I feel like since Stud High Low is a split pot game and Raz is a similar game, but it's a winner-take-all game. I feel like that rewards the skill more than Stud 8 does because there's more chip movement. It's harder to extract chips in a short time frame in Stud 8, so it ends up being you're a little bit more of a slave to cards and a slave to results in Stud 8 than you are in Raz, in my opinion. Raz is a great bluffing game, and it's great when you're able to pick up when a player is bluffing. I don't think that it's a coincidence that the only non-Hold'em bracelet event that Phil Hellmuth has been able to win has been Raz. I don't think that's a coincidence. I actually think that Raz, kind of like Deuce of 7 single draw, no limit, is a game that really rewards reads. So I feel like I'm a favorite in the game. I don't mean like a favorite overall. I mean a favorite versus the field where I feel confident in having a plus ROI. Plus expectation, and I think that, and I also think that a 10K Raz event is going to be one that the backer says, "Why would I want to put you in this?" And I would explain to him. He's like, "It doesn't matter. I'm not putting you in it. You're on your own for that." And I'm like, "Okay, well, see if I can't sell some action in it then." So I'm thinking that. I'm thinking the 10K 6 Max event. I'm also kind of thinking that I would like to try playing that 50K Players Championship. I don't know if I've got enough social capital to put together a $50,000 buy-in, but I know I could try. And if I sold at face or close to it, then I bet that I could sell it. So that would be just an amazing event to win and an amazing event to play. So I think that I might try that as well at a very very small markup because it's a $50,000 event with some of the world's best players. But shoot, man, I'm one of the world's best players. I gotta go ahead and you know believe it and compete with them. So there it is. That was the long answer. The short answer is yes, a Coke.
Long.
The short answer is yes. And I will also be selling pieces in that online event. So that'll be a fun one. It's a 1K event. I don't really need to sell pieces in it, but I think last year when we did, it was a lot of fun to play that event and stream that event and have people who actually had a vested interest, like a rooting interest more than just I hope Dutch does well. I hope we do well. I think that that's kind of a fun event to sell pieces of. So little ace jack offsuit looks pretty good. This looks so good that if against jungly making the 2.5x is maybe I can fold. This is really the only situation where I would. If Murph's Turf or AZ Poker Girl made the shove, it would be a fold for me. And if they all folded to me, I'd be raising. And if Turn the Nuts or Rainmaker or Slickest made the shove, I'd be calling. But against jungly in this stack, now I'm kind of feeling like making the fold. Because if I call, it's going to induce one of these guys to 3-bet shove. And if I raise, I could run into something and also be against the one stack I don't really want to be up against. But Ace Jack is so good. How can I fold against jungly? I don't know. It's a good hand, but it's also one of those hands. Like, I just am not going to know where I'm at. I don't really have any reason to believe that jungly is, super spewy. So hopefully we get to actually get the info here and find out if we were ahead or behind. That's a pretty tough pot for jungly to fold. I wonder what Turn the Nuts had sitting there in the small blind. And yeah, if he's going to make the call against jungly, it kind of makes me feel like if I would have made the call, it probably would have induced a shove by Turn the Nuts. Make the fold there with Queen 10 suited. Guys, I'm going to go ahead and make the fold here just because I think that all three of these guys right behind me have the perfect reship stack. So I don't really want to be inducing a good shove from Turn the Nuts or Slickest or Rainmaker. Did you put that little tickle thing on there?
No, that tickle was already added from someone.
That's funny. I wonder who put that up. It's probably Anaconda.
I think Bob did.
Bob? That's cool. Bob Hatter. What have you started? What have you started, Eximois? Now everyone's tickling the Nightbot. It's funny because Nightbot is usually such a dick. Yeah, ACOKE, I've played in that 50K before. It was a little bit different of a format when I played it, and I made it to day 2. I didn't feel like I was super outclassed, but it's just you can never really have that big of an edge against that field. You really can't. I feel very comfortable in all the games though. Even the weird variants like Badusi and Badaci and Raz Doogie and all those weird variants that don't make it to the 50K Players Championship, I feel pretty comfortable in. Probably my worst game in the mixed game rotations is probably going to be PLO, but even that I've final tabled in and I feel comfortable in kind of knowing where I'm at. Though I do make more mistakes in PLO than I feel like I make in some of the other variants. And bigger mistakes. Oh my gosh, PLO has you can just make bigger mistakes in PLO than you can in like a limit hold'em game. Okay, so AZ Poker Girl with the 7-8, not going to do it against the nut full house there. K. Dr. N asking Eskimo if she voted for Trump. I thought you would for some reason. We did caucus. We caucused for Bernie. So I don't do it a lot, but I feel like Tacos for Fred probably knows that I would be doing this a lot. So let's fire out 200 into 200. I think that this gets through way more than 50% of the time. Probably about 60-something% of the time we're going to get through there. Melonhead ML saying, Dutch, you're up late. It's not late. Nah. It's just early. Those are lyrics from a song. If anyone can recognize that song, they get a fist bump from me. But yeah, up a little bit late just because I played the WSP Circuit Monster Stack today. Played for 11 and a half hours and then didn't even min cash. Didn't even make the money. We weren't even close. We still had to lose like half the field to get to the min cash. Played with some great players. It was an honor just to compete. Let's go ahead and make the raise here. A little 3x action into Rainmaker 540. And we get through. And Cloud, all the moves with that ace jack off felt wrong. Raising, folding, calling. It all felt wrong. I think my default when I have no idea what to do is to fold. Definitely folding felt wrong. Folding always feels wrong. And Timmy Timify says the same thing. As I always say, he says, when you do not know what to do pre-flop, fold. I think that's okay. I think that's an okay default. You know, you default to fold. If you don't know what to do, just fold. If like it feels wrong to raise and it feels wrong to call, and it feels wrong to fold. If all of your options feel wrong, then err on the one that has to be the lowest of the mistakes. Jay Weiner making the open limp here, and wow, Jay Weiner. I mean, do I even have fold equity here? It doesn't even really matter. We're doing it. Shoot, hold on, not that much. We'll make it 420 here, which is 2.5x plus the open limp. So 300 more. And then maybe we're able to take it pre. And if not, maybe Jay Weiner elects to just call. And if checked, we fire out the rest of it. Or if Jay Weiner decides to turn his hand into a stop and go, we decide what to do post flop. Is it a stop and go, Jay Weiner? 1.4 to 4. Well, firing out half pot. There we go. Sometimes now we get the fold. And Jay Weiner with a king jack sitting here not knowing what to do. Bankroll Grind saying, all this knowledge in tournaments not started a training site for MTTs. Thank you very much for the compliment. And perhaps one day, I mean, Twitch.tv kind of is a training site, isn't it? I mean, that's kind of what we're doing here, all trying to improve together at poker. Let's yeah, and Raj, let's go ahead and add that, add those payouts. There we go. We'll move those right over that avatar, I think, right there. And we're looking at 427 for first, top 10 pay, $35 for 10th. Not a bad ROI. but not what we're looking for. A little ace queen offsuit action is pretty good. That's always kind of a fun hand. Hopefully we don't have too much enthusiasm behind us. Jay Weiner with the shove. Nope. Decides to go ahead and go out quietly into that good night. We're going to go ahead and make the raise here to 300, which is 2.5x. Wait. Are we doing 2.5x or 2.25? I always get this confused here. Screw it. Let's stick with 2.5. It's simple. 2.25 is too much math. Making the call against Slickest and Less Tacos for Fred makes the raise. Actually, this is kind of one of those weird spots where if Tacos for Fred flats here, I think I can probably get away from the hand. But against... that's not what we're trying to do. 10 of hearts. Rooting for a foul deck. That always sucks. And yeah, I mean, if Slickest knows what I have, then maybe it would have been better to make the call and shove on the flop if an ace doesn't come. But no reason to think that pocket tens isn't first the best hand and second going to get called by weaker pocket pairs. If he knows we're against overcards, though, he'd rather make it a flop and close game than a let's run out all 5 cards and hope that I win a coin flip scenario. I wonder what Tacos for Fred was thinking about calling with. He probably wasn't thinking about calling with anything. He was probably just in the other room or something.
You have a new 80H is new. He's a longtime fan who's joining you today. Says hello.
Oh, no kidding. 80H, great to see you. Thank you very much for stopping through. Jacks versus King Queen. Murph's turf with the king, hitting the king on the flop. And Jay Weiner, man. I mean, this is what happens when you wait and wait and wait for the best hand. Is by the time you do get the best hand, you don't really have enough chips to really do much with it. You find yourself, flipping or being slightly ahead, and then what? This is why you don't want to let yourself get down to 5 or 6 big blinds. Let's see. Do I have the Twitch alerts up? I'm not sure if I do. Let me get that Twitch alerts up, man. And I got to make sure that it's up top, too. There we go.
Cloud Orchestra said, it's cool, Dutch. I was just curious with the ace-jack offsuit. I'm always looking for more spots because he said he's relatively new to the game, and I've only been playing since November, maybe October, not sure. Just curious.
Well, Cloud, for someone so new, you did pretty well in our league. Look, no one's going to fault you for raising there. It's okay to raise with ace-jack offsuit. You got to keep in mind that his range can be wide open. It just, for whatever reason, there's not really that much of a difference between ace-jack and ace-10. There's not really that much of a difference between ace-jack and ace-9. So I guess what I would ask you is if you would make the fold with ace-8, then why wouldn't you fold with ace-jack? If it feels wrong to make that raise with ace-6 suited, then why are you making it with ace-9? And if you're not making it with ace-9, why not ace-10? Where do you draw the line is what I'm saying. For me, I think that line was going to be ace-queen. It was really close. It was so close that it's like, well, if I'm going to raise with ace-queen, why am I folding ace-jack? I don't have a good answer for that. But there is a line where the ace gets weak enough where all of a sudden it doesn't feel right anymore. Let's go ahead and make the check here. Murph's turf open limping on the button. We actually end up nailing the flop. So let's go ahead and check, and hopefully Murph's turf decides to go ahead and take a little stab at this. And Murph's turf does. It's actually kind of two big blinds. I think that we've got her drawn pretty thin. So let's go ahead and make a little half pot size check raise here and see what Murph's turf decides to do. Fold. I'm fine with that. So Shorty Lambert calling with the ace jack. I gotta say, Shorty, of all three options, raising, calling, or folding, I like calling the worst of all three. I think that if you're gonna play the ace jack, you're probably better off raising it, going for 2.5x, establish yourself as a pre-flop aggressor. Maybe take it without a flop to begin with. But if you don't, take it down pre-flop, it's better to go ahead and be the aggressor because that way you get an extra chance to win at post flop with a c-bet rather than being on the receiving end of like a fit or folds type situation. Like if you just make the call there and the flop comes out 2-7-9, what are you going to do when he fires out a c-bet? I don't really think that calling presents you with a very compelling post flop plan. And if you don't have a post flop plan with a hand, then you might as well not even be in the hand. But I will say, Shorty, if the plan is to call pre-flop and then float a post-flop c-bet, then I don't hate that plan. And the stacks were deep enough where maybe that would be an okay plan. Just make sure that you have a plan going into the flop because most of the time you are going to whiff it. Going in for a 2.5x here against Slickest and Turn the Nuts. And again, we're calling any. There we are. Real quick call. Sure sucks when Turn the Nuts gets it in so good against us. Hopefully we suck out. And we did. So there it is. Turn the Nuts. Getting it in really, really good. About as good as you can. And... but I mean, we're never really folding ace queen suited there to his shove. He just doesn't have enough to really put the pressure on us. If we knew he had ace king, then I can fold all day. But there's no reason why for 11 big blinds, 12 big blinds, when we're making it 2.5x and he makes a shove, there's no reason for us to really think, shit, what are we doing here? This is 400, 560. Should we do this? Yeah, let's do it. There's no reason for us to think that ace queen suited isn't the best hand there. Bankroll Grind says, when getting short, is the push mode still 20 big blinds or more or less? Bankroll Grind, it really depends on it's really more of a player-to-player kind of thing. For me personally, I kind of feel like my open shove mode is 11 big blinds or less. Anything more than 11 bigs, I kind of like the 3-bet shoving more than just open shipping. But that tween stack, that's a tough one. When you have 20 big blinds and everyone folds to you and you're on the button, like right now, if nice call gets everyone folds nice call, I don't think he has to just shove or fold. I think that he can make a normal raise. I think that he's got enough where he can make a normal raise. When the antes kick in, you lower it even more. But 15 big blinds in my head isn't really a very good spot to just open shove. I think it's better to look for a 3-bet shove opportunity. You know what? We're going to make the fold here. Yeah, Shorty Lambert talking about 12 to 15 bigs. I consider 12 to 15 bigs a tween stack, which is just another way of saying awkward. It's an awkward stack where 15 big blinds seems to me too much to just open shove and too little to make a normal raise. So you're kind of in this weird situation where what do you do with it? For me personally, I prefer letting myself blind down to a more manageable like 11-10, or looking for an opportunity to 3-bet shove where maybe I can get a fold. That's how I kind of like playing it. SNP4 with Pocket King, Slickest with the Ace Queen, and this is actually a better matchup for Slickest than when I had Ace Queen against Flop the Nuts. Pocket Jack's pretty good hand. Good enough to 3-bet. It is good enough to 3-bet, so we'll see if any of these guys, we'll go ahead and make that pot size bet from the small blind against Snap 4's open limp on the button. And if Snap 4 decides to go ahead and put up a fight here, I mean, I love it. Let's go ahead and fire out a half pot size bet and hope that Snap 4 has a hand like 10-9. Hope that he has like a Jack 9. Hope that he has pocket 7s. And bankroll grind, I mean, certainly when if you shove with 12 big blinds, you're going to get more callers than if you shove with 20. You know, that's true. Just like if you shove with 50 big blinds, you're going to get less callers than if you shove with 12. It's all a balancing act. Getting to... Oh, that's about as bad as it gets right there. Rooting for nothing. There's nothing that can come. So, Slickest there, we can kind of just discount him as, you know, he's not really even in the hand. So it's really just us against Rainmaker getting 2-1. And we have to ask ourselves, does he have the ace, king, or ace, queen? Or could he possibly have a smaller pocket pair or even a bigger pocket pair? I mean, if he had queens there, we're getting about the right odds to make the call, 2-1. You factor in a little bit of a metagame aspect to it, where you kind of want to show that when you're opening on the button there, you don't always have just BS and an open shove where they're laying you 2-1 on your button raise isn't just going to get through. It's a call. I mean, if we knew he had ace king, then we can make the fold, but we've got to put him on a range of hands. And is pocket nines in that range? Absolutely. Is king queen in that range? Maybe. Is a weaker ace in that range? Ace 10 suited, ace 9 suited? Yeah, maybe. I think so. It would be in my range. Rainmaker doesn't play like we do. We don't play like Rainmaker does, but I think that it's just giving him way too tight of a range to look down at ace jack suited getting 2-1 on that shove and say, oh, this is an easy fold. Anyway, I wish that we did fold, but you got to live with the choices you make in this game. Guys, I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna actually leave the stream going, but I'm gonna go get a rice cake. So I'm gonna get.
You hungry?
I am. I didn't eat today, really. I had that meeting instead of my dinner break. So I got some rice cakes here. That's what I'm gonna eat for dinner.
You have ribs.
Yeah.
Or why don't you have some chili? Dutch.
Well, after the stream's over.
I had some beef rice in there.
It's not going to be too much longer. This is either going to be a... even if we win it, it's not going to be that much longer. There's 29 players left. We're 7 out of 29. And we've already blown through 2/3 of the field here. Maybe not quite 2/3, but it's going to be a quick stream tonight, you guys.
Lucky Jeff is in there with you.
Lucky Jeff, man. Let's 1-2 this thing. Hey... that sounds fine by me. I would love to 1-2 it. Even if I'm the one getting the short end of the stick, it's still $284, which would be fine. If we do 1-2 it and you end up winning, though, you just got to promise me a sub. Hey, anyway, it's good to see you, Lucky Jeff, and good luck in this thing, man. J Dubs says, I've heard that 15 bigs or lower you can open shove to steal blinds. I mean, you've heard correctly. You can. You can do that. Is it GTO? Look, poker hasn't been solved yet, so it's anybody's guess, and it should be table and player dependent. I do think that I do think that you can let yourself get lower than 15 big blinds and still retain some fold equity. I think you can get down to like 6 big blinds and still have some fold equity. You just got to look for the right spot. Like you can come up with these general rules of thumb, and they're useful, but at its heart, poker is a tactical game, not a strategic one. And you're trying to exploit the mistakes that your opponents make. And in my opinion, in those open shove spots, the mistakes that people make are actually folding when they should call, not calling when they should fold. And that's actually the reverse of what I think the normal mistake players make is, which is calling too much. I think that if you were to define like the most common mistake that players make, I think it's calling too much. But in these open shove spots where people are shoving for like seven big blinds and it folds around to the big blind who looks down and folds, and it's like, well, wait, hold the phone. You already have a big blind in there. We are at the ante stages. The ratio is a 3-to-1 ratio. How do you make this fold? You know, you're looking at 2.5 with the blinds plus another big blind for the antes. You know, you're looking at three and a half, 4 big blinds in there before you even have to make the decision, and he's shoving for another 6. So you're getting 10 to 6 to make the call. This is really an 82 spot depending on your stack. So yeah. How do you make the fold there? I don't know. Let's pot it up. Try to isolate. Follow up with a half pot size C bet. Pocket twos. We're probably looking at tacos for Fred having something like an ace 9 or like a queen jack suited or something. Sometimes we just get away with this without even having to fade the flop. When tacos for Fred does decide to call, then we get a C bet. And 60-something% of the time, tacos for Fred is going to miss the flop. So we'll get to we play a post flop game with a made hand. Melonhead ML says, Dutch, how much do I need to donate to make you win this? Well, it's a $20 buy-in, so the answer is $20 and a penny. That is how much for us to be a winner today in the Midnight Mayhem. If you wanted to donate to make us a winner overall today, well, we're in for $365 plus a valet tip and a couple of drink tips. So 400. Ooh, that's kind of a bad day. We're going to make the fold here against Murph's Turf just because I feel like I've been kind of abusing those open limps. But yeah, by the way, Murph's Turf, this is going to be a little bony fish play right there. Like a fool, let me know that rice cakes rate poorly on the glycemic index.
That means that you'll get hungry right away.
Is that true?
Yeah. It's not true.
And have a good night, Dusty. It's good to see you. Thanks for being here in the stream tonight. Are we still doing 2.5x here? Seems a little bit on the low side, or it seems a little bit on the high side. I feel like maybe we should start tapering down even more. We've talked about this with Zoe, with Punky Squid.
How long do you think before you win?
Well, there's 28 players left. We're 7 out of 28. This doesn't go that long, and it starts at midnight. It'll probably go for another hour and a half. Probably.
Cool.
These emotes are making me hungry. That's funny, Cloud. Wow, it's about as good as it gets. And nice call. Going to go ahead and fade the. Nice call. Panna and Curry going to go ahead and fade the 8 outer there. 2 undercards versus her overpair. What a hand. Queen 5 suited. Let's go ahead and make the raise here. This is going to kind of suck if Murph's Turf decides that this is the spot to make the shove. If Murph's Turf decides this is her Alamo hand, it's gonna really kind of suck for us because it's going to be a call. 1170, we'd be getting more than 2 to 1 to make the call. get caught with our hand in the cookie jar. Would much prefer that to happen where everyone just folds to us. 10-4 offsuit, making the fold. J-dubs, man, I've seen people fold for 5 big blinds, 4 big blinds. I mean, it gets pretty ridiculous. I'll tell you what else, too, J-dubs, is it's okay to beg for the fold. And this actually works. This is actually a live play that I enjoy is, pulling off. Is, if you are friendly enough at the table and you're not really making friends at the table, but if you're friendly enough where you're not like where no one really wants to see you leave, and you make the shove for like 6 big blinds and it starts getting around to the big blind, a lot of times you can just ask. You can say, hey, look, man, I'm not above begging. If it's close, I would much prefer you to fold than feel like you got a call with any two. It's all I'm saying is, if it's close, don't think you're doing me a favor by doubling me up. I'll take the chip up every single time. A lot of times they'll look down and it will be close, and they'll make the fold.
Iceman Kiwi got a shirt and he loves it, by the way.
Sweet.
He's there. Did you say hi to Iceman Kiwi?
I didn't see Kiwi. I wasn't paying attention to the stream, to the chat. And hey, Kiwi, it's always good to see you. Iceman coming at us from New Zealand. It's great to see you.
There probably, right?
What's that?
Is it early there? What time is it in Iceland?
It's got to be in the morning. No. Let me think. Actually, it's evening. It's got to be evening in New Zealand, because it's morning in the UK. I don't know.
So many people from everywhere. It's awesome, isn't it?
So a little King 5 offsuit action, making the raise. It's better than average. Should be the best hand. Wait for the 5. Get it in there. What do we do if Rainmaker shoves for 2,000 more? I don't know.
Oh, that's a subscriber.
Lucky Jeff, 1977, subbing. I'm pretty sure it's not the first time, but I'll tell you, Lucky Jeff, really appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and make sure that Xmall... Can you send out that welcome email to Lucky Jeff just in case
Yes.
he needs like a refill on the fist bump patches? Or
Well, you have to send it after the stream because I can't get it from your computer. You're on the side again.
Okay. You got it. So to Love Fuzzies, making the raise to 1,400. Always feels wrong to fold, but you know what? I'm going to fold to you to Love Fuzzies.
I want to go to bed right now. I'm getting really tired.
Okay.
Is that okay if I leave?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll take over. Did anybody say Spin Doctors, by the way? Did anybody say the Spin Doctors? No one got the lyrics to the song? It's not late. No, it's just early. I'm going to go ahead and make the fold here to Ricky Love Dart. And we'll let one of these other guys just, take a turn to steal the blinds. And look at that. The Love Fuzzies, pocket jacks now, making the shove. That was brutal. Pocket jacks against ace jack suited. Flops the set. But you know what? It was all in pre-flop. The Love Fuzzies is going to lose that hand a good chunk of the time. 60-something% of the time he's going to lose that hand. Let's go ahead and make it 2.5x Panang's raise. With the ace-king off.
Oh, gosh. Sorry, I'm tired. What are you drinking there? Iced coffee?
Iced coffee.
These are really awesome, these little things. Wow.
Yeah, thanks again, Money Miser, for these chip protectors. These are really cool. We're gonna make good use of these. We're going to they're gonna be the trophy for some Twitch Poker League events. I feel it. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah.
Are you gonna shove here?
Well, I already raised. I'm probably not gonna get the opportunity. I don't need to now. Just make the call.
Shit.
Oh,
Shit.
Pan and Curry. Pan and Curry, man. Why do you have to have aces there? Why can't you have kings? Why can't you have queens? Shoot, man. It's about as bad as it gets. So much more likely for Pan and Curry to have queens there than ace king, or like when we have ace king. So much more likely to for Pan and Curry to have like jacks or even the same hand. There's just not a lot of combinations of aces there, so that sucked. Yeah, boy, Casey's saying usually people get quiet when they have a big hand, a little bit of a tell. I actually find the opposite. I actually find that people are a lot more chatty uh, with their big hands, and that when they actually have weak hands and are bluffing, they tend to try to conceal behavior and try not to give any sort of reason, extra reason for someone to call them. I think it's definitely harder to have a conversation with somebody when you are on a stone cold bluff than when you actually are relaxed and have a strong hand. Um, it's just, tells are kind of funny like that way though. I mean, one tell means one thing for one player and it means the opposite for another player. A lot of times, a specific tell will mean complete opposites, and you'll have what Zach Elwood calls a polarizing tell, where the same behavior might mean very strong or very weak in the same player. So you don't really know whether it's really strong or really weak. All you know is that it's not a middling type hand. Old 6 deuce offsuit against S&P4. It's close. It's close. Thinking about maybe making a raise against S&P4. It's not that bad of a spot. Under the gun, it's the new button raise. And I do hate feeling like a slave to my hand. I really do. But I'm not folding this ever. And you know what? When I make the call, there's enough there in the pot where just picking up a third of our stack is not such a bad option. Making the shove, getting it in good. Can we dodge? Can we weave? We do! Back up to 84.26. Man, there were a lot of chop outs there too. Besides the 10 and the queen, which would have just crushed us. Any 9 or 8 also gave a chop to Rainmaker, so had a lot of outs there. Well, let's go ahead and make the shove here. Hope to just get through. That's 9 big blinds Rainmaker's looking at. Randiferous 8, that's exactly what they are. Cinnamon apple rice cakes. They're pretty damn good. That's exactly what I'm eating right now, a Quaker apple cinnamon rice cake. And you're right. You know, I'm still hungry even as I'm swallowing. I'm like, it's not enough. It's like eating air. You know, so pretty low on the glycemic level. That's true. I haven't really had a lot to eat today though, so I will unapologetically eat 3 of these rice cakes, and then maybe after the stream, have a bowl of chili. I regret nothing. I had a chance to play with John Dolan today. You guys might remember him as the November Niner in the Duhamel year. He played good. He played good, you guys. He played good. The rumors are all true. We'll stick with the 2.5x here, making it 600. Ricky Love Dart, I will call you. Tacos for Fred, a shove. I don't know what I do. I don't know what I would do. Wow, and Tacos for Fred firing out the bet. Just leading out. Just leading out. Why, man? Why? I'll make the fold. And Panna and Curry getting hit with those big pocket pairs holds up again this time. Ricky Lovedart's going to be making the next exit as the 23rd place player. We're down to 22. We're down to 22. A little ace 8 offsuit. Going to be good enough. Make it 2.5x. Are we still doing 2.5x here? Really? Seems a little too heavy. Nah, it doesn't matter. 2.5x. We'll get up to a little bit less in the next round. At the 142.80 level, we'll make it 680 instead of the 2.5x, which is a little bit of a tapering down. And if that's a new word for you guys, tapering, and you haven't been watching the stream that long, and I have a poker clinic. And is it a poker clinic? Yeah, I talked about tapering in a poker clinic. There was also an All In magazine article that I wrote about tapering. So if it's a new term for you, definitely check it out. Panang Curry making a min raise. Okay, Panang Curry. I will go ahead and make the call here with a little 7-4 suited. Not really the best flop for 7-4 suited, even though we probably are ahead. But we're also not losing Panang Curry if he's coming in with an ace. So this is going to be a check call, and then we can lead out on the turn. Yeah, that's a good card to go ahead and lead out on. So fire out a lead and expect to get called with an ace jack or something like that. Sometimes get the fold, which we're okay with. And if everyone folds, I think it's a shove again to Rainmaker with 10 big blinds. And we've got a better than average hand and 535 in the middle. If we get called, then let's just hope that we win a 60-40 race. But most of the time, we're going to have the best hand and we don't get called. And sometimes we're going to have the worst hand and still not get called. You know, if Rainmaker's sitting there with like a, what do we have, Queen 6? You know, a lot of times Rainmaker will be looking down at a hand like Queen 8 and decide not good enough. A hand like King 3 and decide not good enough. Those types of hands. It's pretty late. We're on a break, guys, so I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Lots of great poker action left to happen. And thanks, guys, for joining us this late night on this Thursday night, Friday early morning. We'll be right back. And we're back, you guys. Here we go. Making the fold here with 4-3 suited. Why not? Makes it really easy when Murph's turf is making the shove and we have 4 high. Making the raise with a 5-4 suited up to 680, and Panning Curry decides to go ahead and just overbet. You know, Panning, I don't think that that's a good move. I really don't. I'm not saying don't raise. I'm just saying that that's too much. It's too much. Yeah, green tea's great though. Cloud and trichotomy. Green tea. Green tea. There's plenty of studies showing that green tea, the two active, like the two of the ingredients in green tea, caffeine and something else, really act in concert together as a pretty strong nootropic, where you're going to increase your cognitive functions if you drink green tea. So yeah, green tea, milk, and honey. It's kind of my caffeine of choice a good chunk of the time. Yumius, it's good to see you in the stream, my friend. If you're here, hope that you're doing well. Making the call against Rainmaker, and you know that Yumius has to have something good. Let's not tell Rainmaker that we folded one of his outs. Wow. Yumius, how good are you running today? How does that happen to you, man? Rainmaker actually making the straight flush, taking 6s against 9s when one of his 6s is dead, and flushing out. Not just flushing out, straight flushing out. Little queen 5 offsuit in the button. And Yumius deciding to go ahead and make that 2x raise from under the gun. I'm going to make the fold. Show a little deference to Yumius. Tan and Grace, good to see you in the stream. What's up? What's up? A little 680 action from us if it gets folded around. I don't really expect that it will. A couple of these guys are just getting too short, but it might. Murph's turf open limping, so we'll make it 680, 880, 960 is the amount that we're going to go ahead and make it here. And probably get called by Murph's turf, but set ourselves up nicely for a post-flop C-bet. And that works too. We'll take it without having to fade a flop. Freezer. He's actually a pretty tough player. It's actually going to go ahead and get a shark from me. Freezer's good enough. By the way, guys, I figured out tonight who B. Schreiber was. I'm not going to out him on the stream, but let's just say that he is a former November Niner and a solid ass player. This one's going to be tough if we raise into Love Fuzzy decides to re-raise us. S&P 4 making the shove, and Ace-Jack offsuit probably going to be good enough here. So let's make the call here. Not the worst flop, not a good turn, not a good river. So S&P 4 going to go and win that flip. And Ace-Jack offsuit puts a little dent in our stack, going from 5 out of 18 to, what, 8 out of 18, 9 out of 18? Probably. 8 out of 18, making the fold here against Punning Curry. Why do you keep on coming back? I don't know. That's it. The L-theanine Cloud Orchestra. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Wow. Umius. Poker's not about deserving, is it, man? That's pretty brutal right there. So first you get it in really good and just get screwed. Then you get that cooler situation. And I don't even know what to say, man. That's just brutal. Let's go ahead and make the raise here to 680. King Gagnon. I don't think that there's any scientific study which says that. But it definitely increases confidence. Increases confidence. Umius. Yeah, that was pretty brutal, Umius. I don't even know what to say about like that little back-to-back type of hand. And it's great to have you here on the stream. I'm glad that you stopped in and said hello. I'm sorry that didn't work out as well as you deserved, because that was pretty ugly. Melonhead ML says, Dutch, do you think sunglasses should be allowed in poker? Melonhead, I do. I do, actually. I think that, you know, in an ideal world, maybe they wouldn't be allowed, but poker needs as much like sponsorship opportunities as it can get. And you know, sunglasses at the poker table seem like just such an obvious way to to have outside money coming into the economy, that it seems like it's probably a bad idea to say no sunglasses. I don't really see fundamentally the the reason why you would ban sunglasses but not ban scarves. The reason why you would ban sunglasses but not ban hoodies. I don't really think that there's that much of a difference. So yeah, I'm all for it. I think it's fun. Gosh, I kind of hate this. If I make the half pot bet and I get raised, I just kind of hate it. Let's just check here. Hopefully one of these guys decides not to just shove, because I'm not fading a shove, but I might fade just a normal bet, especially when you factor in that the other 2600 is kind of in play. So we're getting 4600 to 840, about 5 to 1 on an 8 out or once, 16%. It's pretty close, actually. I'm gonna just make the fold. It's pretty close. Pretty close. I need to start doing the Anon, the Anon emote imaginator. I need to start doing it. I keep on forgetting. I keep on forgetting that that's the ban emote.
Did you ban somebody?
Ah, yeah.
Already?
Saying, yeah. Already. Firing out 700 against Love Fuzzies. And Love Fuzzies, he sure has been abusing me. That's kind of brutal there. S&P4. Pound and Curry making the shove with King High. Has the Ace High covered, which is a little bit. And that brings us down to 15 players now. 9 of 15. Looks like a third of the players here are not going to get paid. And the other 2/3 get their money back and then some. Rainmaker making the shove, getting through. Jack 2 suited against Panang Curry. Yeah, I'll go for it. A little 700 here. And another just shove, another just open ship. 30 big blinds, just spew. It's too much. It's too many chips to just spew off like that. $30 bigs is a lot of chips. It's too much. It's too much. Well, Jack 5 off. Seven-two suited. Now Rainmaker has enough chips where I don't really like making an open shove now. If it's folded around, I think I will continue to go ahead and make a normal 3x raise from the small blind. Keep in mind we're making our multiple higher in the small blind than we would in the button or any other position, just because we don't want to encourage the right calls when they're going to have position on us. Position is important to you guys. It's hard to overstate the value of position. So you should be more inclined to encourage calls when you're on the button than when you're in the small blind. Making the fold here against Murph's Turf, and Love Fuzzy's making the good call. Not really what Murph's Turf is looking for, and that's going to do it. Murph's Turf, the 4 of clubs doesn't help Murph's Turf hand, even though it gives Murph's Turf a few extra outs. I actually would be rooting for that turn. I would be rooting for like a 10 or a king or a queen or a pair on the board, because it's going to make it a lot more likely those chop outs This is gonna suck if one of these guys decides to 3-bet, because I don't really think I can put Freezer or to love Fuzzies on that big of a hand. I think that I gotta kind of look down at Ace 9 as if it's like an Ace Jack, Ace Queen, and say, you know what? It's the best. It's the best of it. And Melonhead ML saying I would have check raised all in with that open ender. The problem with check raising all in with that open ender is that you just don't have any fold equity at that point. What can you get Tacos for Fred to fold? You know, it would be easier to make that check raise semi bluff in a heads up pot, but it wasn't heads up, and I don't really think that we can expect Tacos for Fred to just stone cold bluff it. It's wet enough that we're just gonna. I just don't think that he's bluffing. I think that he has a bit of that board, and we're just not going to be able to get through. So we're going to get called in a situation where we've got 10 high and 8 outs. Maybe we have more than 8 outs. You know, maybe we were looking at 11 outs. Maybe. So Pawn and Curry making a very quick check there. So quick, in fact, that I think I'm going to just check back. See the one card I don't really want to see. I'll check back. And call if Pawn and Curry makes a bet. Bet if Pawn and Curry makes a check. And hope to get called with like an 8-9 or an 8-7. Pocket sixes. So Freezer coming at me with a 670. And is this like an any 2 card spot? I don't think against Freezer we really have to call this. Let's just go ahead and make the fold. You know, he hasn't really been that active at the table. He's a good player. I'm going to go ahead and get out of his way. Tan and Grace asking, do you live in Vegas? I don't know if you're asking me that or if you're asking Cloud Orchestra that. That's pretty funny. Tan and Grace. That's pretty funny. Alex Boy J says you misspelled mac and cheese. That's actually pretty funny, man. So getting out of Pan and Curry's way, Rainmaker 540 deciding to go ahead and make the shove into Pan and Curry's min raise from the button. Gets through. Getting down to it, you guys. 9 out of 13. And I'm going to go ahead and make the fold for you to love Fuzzies. Almost at the final table, you guys. I feel it coming. Yeah, you know what, J-Dubs? I'm pretty sure that is the same Tannen that I'm thinking of, too. Pretty sure. And if that's the case, he was probably asking a Cloud Orchestra. No, that makes perfect sense. I don't know why I didn't put it together. Tannen, it's great to see you in the stream. And I'm pretty sure he says, yes, I am the Tannen Grace. It is good to see you in the stream. It was just talking about you the other day with Ruben. Hope you're doing well, bud. I don't know why I didn't put that on. I didn't know that Grace was your last name, but I don't know why I didn't put that together. And J-Dubs, that's cool. I'm a retired PTQ grinder. That's cool. J-Dubs, you know how I feel about Magic. I mean, it's ah, I love Magic. It's pretty close, you guys. Pretty close. King 5 suited is really close. And Panna and Curry just putting a pretty big dent into Freezer. I kind of looked away for a second and I missed it. Ace King versus sixes. That's right. Did they get it all in pre-flop? Nope. They got it all in when Freezer crushed the flop, and Panna and Curry even did better. Whew. Imaginator. No. Sorry to hear it, buddy. Sorry to hear it, man. I said aces cracked out in 18th. That's the worst. We haven't had aces all day. So how many hands have we played anyway? Ace 10 offsuit, 142 hands. I feel like there's a decent chance that we should have already gotten them in 142 hands, but have not. Tacos for Fred. If you shove, I'm gonna go ahead and make the call. Panna and Curry. If you raise, I will go ahead and 3-bet it. So we'll see how it goes here. Raising to 987. And let's go ahead and do a little 2.5x. Should be around there. Not afraid. I'm going to go ahead and make the call if Panna and Curry decides to really force the issue. And now we're hand for hand, which means we must have lost somebody. We must have lost somebody at the other table, right? Lucky Jeff is still in it too. Lucky Jeff, let's do this, man. I hope that we make this happen. So we're 6-handed at that table, 6-handed at this table. We're down to 12. Pays 10. So that's good. We're gonna go ahead and make the fold here against Panna and Curry. I'll see if Rainmaker decides to do this 2 times in a row. Okay, we'll make the raise here if everyone folds to us. King 7 offsuit figures to be ahead of what the Love Fuzzies is going to bring to the table. Instead, Tacos for Fred acts as a spoiler here. Makes the 4x raise. I'm going to make the fold here. Panna and Curry ISOing. Wow, Kings versus Queens. And Tacos for Fred, gonna need a little bit of help. It's not gonna do it. Down to 1 out. It's not it. So we're down to 11 players, you guys, and we're on the Stone Cold Bubble. On the Stone Cold Bubble, will this end well? I don't know. Yeah, it's going to end well. We're going to win this. We're going to win this hand. We're going to win this this tournament. I feel it. Feel it in my bones, boys. I feel it in my bones. We're going to go and make the fold here against Panna and Curry. What did you guys say that was? That was just duck curry? Panning is duck? Actually sounds pretty good. That sounds pretty good. Huh. Sorry for yawning, you guys. It's been a long day. Well, I feel like we can probably check raise this and get through a good chunk of the time. And this is not one of those times. Maybe to love fuzzies is bluffing us. Doesn't really matter. If he's bluffing us, he can have it. Nice hand. If he goes fold, 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 it's going to be a shove from us. GF. So little difference between GF and GFY. Make the fold here against Freezer, I think. Oh, oh man. Huh. That's kind of interesting, Michelle. Someone just changed their profile picture.
Oh, I did?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was tired of my other one.
Looking very hipster.
Oh.
Looking very hipster.
Do
You
I?
look good,
I
yeah.
put
You
my
look really
pigtails
pretty.
on. No, I just was tired of my other picture. You gotta win, Dutch.
I'm working on it.
How many people are left?
11.
Oh, that's pretty good. You getting money?
Yeah. Not yet. It pays 10.
Oh,
Pays
wow. It's it's right there, huh?
Right there.
Oh my gosh. Nice.
Ooh.
Don't yawn, Dutch.
I'm trying not to, you guys. I'm trying to keep it together.
Cover your mouth when you yawn. Trichotomy says that you're doing well now. Good, good.
Thanks, Trichotomy. I appreciate that. I'm feeling a lot better.
You know, you can have a bowl of cereal.
It's not a bad idea.
I wonder if that domain's taken.
I don't really know how you can make that fold, Freezer. You know, it just kind of puts a target on you for future future aggressive acts. I don't really. I mean, you don't really have enough chips where you want to keep players in. You're getting the right odds where even if you know that you're beat, you're still supposed to be making that call there. I don't really understand the fold. And I can understand the argument that people might make is that he'll be like, oh, well, he knows that he doesn't have any fold equity, and that's why he does. Like, okay, well, I think you're leveling yourself. Pretty close. We'll go for a little 1100 here. What do we do if Freezer makes a shove? Probably, I don't know. I don't know. Might call. Instead, he makes a raise. Okay, well, that's a little bit better, I guess. I'm not folding. So making the call. Kind of interesting how Freezer decides to make the raise, make it so that panning can't push him off the can push him off the hand. If I'm panning there, panning curry, is that how I'm saying that? If I'm panning curry, I'm really strongly considering making the shove. Anyway, I'm not folding for that much. King 6-6, getting 3-1 on the call. That's kind of brutal. Make the fold. Yeah. Doesn't really matter, Freezer. I mean, if you bluffed, you bluffed. It doesn't really matter to me. What I am thinking, though, is if I'm punning curry and you make that kind of move, I'm pushing. You could have easily just induced a shove from punning. Ooh, and this one's interesting. On the other table, we've got AIRIC, who just shoved. And we've got two players at the other table deciding what to do. This might be a fold if one of these guys calls AIRIC. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and call. Yeah. So it's going to be a chop pot. Not really what we're looking to do on the turn. I would have loved for that turn to be like a 5 or a 3 or a 6. Well, I think that we're in the money now. AIRIC just went all in with ace-10, got called by Wojabid on the other table with aces, so in the money. Cha-ching. It's going to be a good day on the online felt, even though we do not have a lot of chips at this point. Well, if it goes fold, fold, we're shoving. Easy shove. And we get the fold. Didn't even have to beg for it. Pick for player, good to see you in the stream. Welcome to the stream. And yeah, you'll always be able to see the buy-in at the very top of the tab there. You can see where it says blind level 250-500 next level. If you look right above that, I know it's small, but it shows the buy-in. So this is a $20 $800 guaranteed tournament, the Midnight Mayhem on wsop.com. Usually we're playing like 2K and 3K guaranteeds that are rebuys. This is kind of the exception to the rule, and the reason we're playing this is because we spent all day away from the stream playing the live event over at Bally's, the World Series of Poker Circuit event, doing a little ring hunting. Freezer kind of opening himself up for that one. We'll see if he had a plan for when punning curry inevitably raises. It doesn't look like he did. And it looks like we're at the bottom here with Lucky Jeff. Lucky Jeff in 10th place. We're, yeah, this will be a call. Wow, and we actually haven't dominated. Can we hold? Dodge and weave. And we do. We do. Wow, he had a lot of outs too. Any 5, any 8, any ace. But one of the few situations where we actually have him dominated pre-flop, so that's always kind of nice. Pawn and Curry deciding to raise again? Nope. Decides to just do that. We get to make the shove against Rainmaker 540. Hopefully get a fold, but if we get a call, it's okay too. Yumius, I haven't actually met Freezer. I just heard about him through from Reputation. I do remember Paul DeWald talking about him. I guess they all used to kind of hang out with Butters too, but I haven't met him in real life that I know of. I mean, I might have, but I don't think I have. So, oh wow. So Freezer and DeLove Fuzzies both making the call here against Rainmaker's shove. That kind of surprises me. And I would actually expect, I mean, I don't know. I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. I don't know what to expect from these guys. Rainmaker tripling up with the ace king. Nice hand. Nice hand, sir. Shorty Lambert, remembering the Bitcoin correlation, trying to get those Bitcoins up for attorney cash. I liked it. Little Jack 6 offsuit. Lucky Jeff on the other table getting it all in. Good luck, my friend. Getting it all in with a 7 big blind stack. I'm going to make the fold here against Rainmaker and Freezer. And we might be at a final table here pretty soon. Rainmaker making the fold. Freezer adding to his stack. Pocket tens, I like it. I like it. It looks pretty good. So let's go ahead and make the 3x here against Rainmaker. 14.5 big blinds. Maybe it should just be a shove. I don't think so though. A little 3x and then maybe try to induce a shove by Rainmaker that would just snap call. 3-2 offsuit. I'll make the fold. Big Tom Q77 asking, hey, did you hear PokerStars is going to New Jersey? Any thoughts on that? I mean, not really. I'm happy that it's happening. I think that the more competition, the better. And I mean, PokerStars has invested so much in their software that it really is unrivaled when it comes to user interface and a user experience. I just think, unless they can get more than just the New Jersey market, it's just going to be kind of inconsequential, but it's a good first step, and I definitely, hope that they're able to expand, bring it to Nevada. Maybe what I'd really like to see is those international packs. That would just be really great. It would be awesome if PokerStars is able to convince the New Jersey Gaming Control Board that it would be okay to allow American players to be playing with international players. That would be really awesome. I would love that to happen. And if that were to happen, I think that I would strongly consider making a move to New Jersey. New Jersey's not so bad. Hoboken's a cool area. Little ace deuce suited. Wow. And it looks like at the other table we got Lucky Jeff going all in with ace 4 against ace 9. He's got some outs and he misses. So that's going to be our final table, guys. Final table time. I'm going to actually go to the Twitterverse, and Lucky Jeff, man, I know it's not what we wanted, But both of us cashing isn't so bad, you know. If that was like a if someone offered you a cash at the very beginning, it's good. You just have to frame it right. And I know it sucks. I'm just gonna go ahead and keep my mouth shut. You know, we're very likely gonna be right out the door after you. Um, just like if every single time you got almost double your buy-in, if you felt bad about it, it's just gonna be. I mean, this is what what usually happens. Is you don't get anything back. You know, usually it's just gonna be a minus 100% ROI. So I think you played well. It definitely was. We both were in a spot where it looked like it was going to be a bubble for one of us, and you faded that. And then wow, you had so many outs on that last hand too. You had so many outs. It just takes a little bit of luck to to double up, and then you're looking like you're in great shape here at the final table. But I wish that we could have gone 1 and 2. I'll try to take it down for the both of us. Poker's brutal, man. Poker's brutal, and it's very late. But yeah, I saw Lucky Jeff. He says, "Good luck, touch." I saw how that went down. He shoved with Ace 4 suited in a situation where I think he was 5-handed. Yeah, 5-handed, and someone is in there with Ace 9, so it was kind of a cooler situation, and made even chiller by the fact that you had all the outs in the world by the time the river finally came out and you missed it. But looking forward to playing a lot more with you, Jeff, and it's always a pleasure to make the money with you. Wow, Bayong, that's a pretty big pot. I wonder what Wojabid had. Wojabid with the pocket aces. Oh my gosh, pocket aces. What a brutal hand we just saw. And Wojabid deciding, you know what, I've had enough of it. I'm going to go ahead and make the call here with Ace 7. Rainmaker making the shove with the Ace 5 suited. I don't know that I make that call if I'm Wojabid, but after getting pocket aces cracked, it's also kind of one of those screw it calls. Jack 2 offsuit's going to be a fold from us. 13 big blinds against Freezer. I'll make the fold. Little deuce 3 suit is going to be a fold from us. Oh, man. Okay. Let's just shove it. What is that? 12 and a half big blinds? I don't even want to look. Seems like too small of a stack just to make a normal raise, and too good of a hand not to just play it. Let's go ahead and just try to pick up the pot. We do pick up a quarter of our stack without fading the flop, which is great. It's great news. Panning Curry making a min raise and not going to get through me. It doesn't matter that I only have 9-4 offsuit. I'm calling with any two cards. Factor in a c-bet that we can count on most of the time. 6-1. Let's do it. We're trying to get him off of ace 10, king 10, ace 9, and king 9, and maybe smaller pocket pairs under an 8. That's all. Sometimes that's what he's got. A Vet's 11B, thanks for keeping me awake, Dutch. Just binked the 1K guaranteed on Bovada. I was seriously falling asleep when I was near the money and started to nod off and sat out for a while. A Vet's nicely done. Nicely done. What'd you bid? Making a 3.5x raise here. I think that might be enough to get me to fold. Little ace king offsuit. That's a strong hand. That's a good hand. That's kind of a cool hand. Let's go and make it 1300 here. Pretty good flop. Yeah, pretty good flop. And let's go ahead and half pot raise it. And are we in third place now? Sure looks that way. Third out of 8. It's happening, you guys. It's happening. King Queen offsuit against Bayong, Freezer, Wojabid, and DeLove Fuzzies. Let's go ahead and make it 1300 here. Wait for that trailing digit right now. Bayong 80 with the ace 3 decides to go ahead and put us to the test. Put us to the test for what? 30 big blinds. Donk. Donk spew is what that is. I'm sure it makes sense in his head. I'm sure in his head that there's no way that we can call because of ICM. Well, we're not calling with King Queen offsuit. When we call, you're not gonna like it. Arrow Drool's making the raise, the Love Fuzzy's making the re-raise, and Bayong deciding to go ahead and isolate. This is probably gonna do it for the Love Fuzzies unless Bayong's pocket fives. Like, why, dude? Why? So Bayong isolating the overcards. pretty big at risk. The love fuzzies getting knocked out in kind of brutal fashion. And Bayon kind of running away with this, huh? I'm sure he's feeling like there's no way anyone can catch up. We are at 7 players left, still in 3rd place. It looks like this is going to do it for Kosher Clat. Jacks against King Queen. The Queen hits. And Kosher Clat down to his last 2 out are not going to happen. We're down to 6. Bad news, everybody, at this table. 6 max is where we shine. 6 max is where we shine. Man, Bayong feeling invincible here. Does he call? Does Bayong call the 13,000 shove? Wouldn't surprise me if he does. Oh. A little King 2 offsuit. How about you, Wojabid? Wojabid makes it 4.5x. Okay. Weird multiple. And it's going to get through me. 4.25x. What does that even mean? What's the multiple mean there? I don't know. So 4 of 6. What are we looking at? 6th place is 85. Pretty big jumps. Little ace queen suited action. That's pretty good. Wow, we got Bayong limping. So we would be making it 1,700. Let's go ahead and make it. Actually, let's go ahead and make it 2,800. I think we're gonna get called from Bayong. Yeah. So Bayong deciding he's going to go ahead and try a hopeless bluff there because, of course, we can't call. We can't call with ace high. ICM. ICM, I tell you, says Bayong. Well, you're actually wrong. We can make that call. We did make that call with ace high, and we were right. Had you drawn dead to 3 outs. Bayong seeking some sort of revenge here. Pretty quick check. Hit a 4. Okay. Making the call. So Bayong going for that check raise on the flop. Didn't give him the opportunity, and he decided to go ahead and fire out and fire out. And we're just seeing a little bit of a self-destruction here. I nuke your mom. It's great to see you. Always a pleasure to see you in the stream. Yeah, I can make the fold now against Bayong. And wow, look how bad we would have been. King 10 against Ace 10 and King Queen. So, yeah, that's going to do it for Freezer. Making a good shove against us with the King Queen, but then getting a little bit unlucky there for Bayong to wake up with a bigger hand. And we're on break. We're on break. 2 out of 5 left, you guys. Freezer, nice game, man. You played like a champ. We'll be right back in 4 minutes and 15 seconds. Don't go anywhere. Break time. Okay, guys, we're back. And Pippin, it's great to see you in the stream, man. He says Dutch is on at 2 in the morning. Why so late? Why so late is because we're at the final table, my friend. Final table hype. Arrow drills. I'm going to make the fold for you, and I also need to change. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the. Title. Gosh, this is actually really close, Arrow drills. It's actually closer than it appears, but yeah, I'll make the fold for you, Arrow. Nice hand. Pretty close though. How can I resist? You got Bayong sitting out. I mean, how can I resist here? Wojabid making the call. I don't blame you, and we're kind of getting a little bit of that flop. Half pot it. Well, let's see if maybe we can get Wojabid off of a king or a queen high. Maybe we can get him off of like an 8 high. Ian Griffin says, does Dutch not stream as much anymore? Ian, it was kind of a rough month, so I didn't stream that much this month. Queen 2 offsuit, making the fold. It's a pretty good flop, really, for 4-7 suited. It's good enough that I'm going to go ahead and, yeah, I'll go for a little check raise action. Two to one. That's really tempting, you guys. The amount is just like so perfect. I don't know why when I hit half pot it made that stupid little raise. Because when he made it a third pot, when we make the call, a half pot raise is supposed to be like 5,000 more. We're supposed to be have put in like 8,000, you know, like 8,700 here. Make the fold. Arrow Drools, good to see you in the stream, man. Alex, what do I mean by times are tough for poker players these days? What I mean is post Black Friday, it's not really that easy to grind out a living playing poker. It used to be much easier. before they shut down online poker, before there was so much money just being poured into the poker economy. But now all that is kind of gone. That's what I mean. Go for a little 2100 with a computer hand here. Pretty good flop for Queen 7. Fire out the same amount, 2100. Three. And yeah, I had Panang Curry down to just about out. Make the raise here. Wow, look at that quick call. My Bayong 80. That's going to do it for Arrow. We're down to 4. Wow. Look at this spewer. Bayong making it 5 times the big blind. Why? I don't know. I don't know. You know what, Panang Curry, I think I'm going to go ahead and make the call here on the button. Ugh. Ian Griffin was personally, I talked about it on a previous stream. I don't really feel like going into it again, but it's all been resolved. That would have been a fun one. That would have been a fun one to play. A7, Jack 7. What the hell just happened? How did that get 35,000 with ace high? What was the turn action there? 4,000 and then 9,000 to 17-2. Wow. And Wojibit calling him. Wow, Wojibit calling him with ace high and right. Hell of a play there, Wojibit. You just knew. Online soul read, man, that's a tough one. And look at him spew, just six times the big blind, 6 times the big blind. Wow. Okay, Wojo. King Queen versus Ace Queen. I don't really understand that one, but Okay. Wojabid not only making some soul reads, but also making some shuffle tracking reads. I mean, what the hell is going on there? These guys, man. Let's go ahead and, I guess we're just going to start making min raises here now that we're three-handed. Both of them call. Why not? Check. Check. I'll fire out. Well, maybe not. I've got my work cut out for me, you guys. A little king queen suited. Yeah, we're ahead. I guess not. We're gonna need some help. Well, that's some help. Can we hold? No. The ace jack gets there. Third place isn't losing. It feels like losing right now, but it's not. It's not losing, and I don't even want to see it. I'm sorry, guys. If you want to see how that action ends, you're gonna have to just load up wsop.com because I can't stand to watch one of these guys take all the chips. You guys have been awesome. Thank you very much for joining us for this late night edition of the Dutch Boyd Poker Show. We're going to be back tomorrow night at around 6:30ish, 7ish for kind of a smaller, kind of a shorter stream. Simply because we're going to be playing the main event of the WSOP circuit event over at Bally's on Saturday. So thanks for joining us. $170, not too bad for a $20 buy-in. I wish that I could have taken the whole thing down. Wish that it was the whole shebang. But I'm happy enough with third. You guys have been awesome. Every single one of you guys are funny and cool, and I really miss hanging out with you. So thank you very much for hanging out and joining us. We'll be back tomorrow. Make sure to follow if you're not already following. It don't cost nothing, and it does help out the stream. And make sure to follow on Twitter, @DutchBoyd for me, @First for XMY. If you're watching this and it's not a late night or early morning where you are, if it's not live where you are, chances are you're watching on YouTube. So make sure to subscribe to the channel. That doesn't cost anything on YouTube, but if you're on Twitch, it does actually cost something to subscribe on Twitch. So a subscribe on YouTube is kind of like a follow on Twitch, I guess that's how you do it. Make sure to like the video if you're watching on YouTube too. And you guys are awesome. I hope that you guys have a great weekend. I hope you spend a little bit of it with us tomorrow night. But if you can't, we'll see you soon. And thanks for hanging out. I'll talk to you later.